Good afternoon, welcome back to the allotment. I'm Mal, and also known as the Veg Plot Man, and I've bobbed down today. Firstly was to sort of do some logs and try and clear the timber that I had down at the bottom and get that all sawn up, and I've done that. And what I thought I'd do, because the sun's come out for a change, I thought I've come down and I'll empty the stuff out of the main greenhouse into here. So all the broad beans, the cosmos, my onions, moving them all into here, and I've got fleece to hand ready to cover them up if we get a frost, with the intention to pot on now my dahlias and get those into some pots, and I'm going to bring those in here as well, and the idea is to try and clear that greenhouse so they can crack on and get all the glass cleaned, because it's really surprising how dirty the glass gets. So that needs to be done before we start sowing in earnest and filling that greenhouse with all the seedlings. So what I'm going to do is continue filling this up and emptying that, and then I'll take you across there and show you how I go on with the dahlias. Right, so I'll just get this bag of compost dropped in. It's not bad stuff, this, actually, for a change. So, dahlias. It's time for me now to get these potted up, and I'll introduce a little bit of water. I don't fill this pot up, I just fill it sort of a third of the way. I get one of my dahlias, which is quite healthy. Any sort of dead bits just pull off, and then I just simply drop that into my pots and just cover the surface, or up to where the tubers are. And it's as simple as that. And then all I'll do is I'll just prune these back, give them a water, and wait to see the new shoots. When I get the new shoots, I take a few cuttings off them as well, just to increase my stock. That's one of them. We'll do another. I came down today, it was absolutely dismal as anything, and it's just brightened up, and I was going to go home because the sun's come out. Thought, oh, I'll stay and do a bit. It's so much more pleasant down on the plot when the sun's shining. There's only me down here, and Sally, a plot neighbour over the road, and she's a bit big. So these let's just pull off. There we go. Put them in there. There's no big deal to this. Just make sure you get plenty of compost all the way around the plant, up to the top of the tuber. Bob's your uncle, as they say. I'd like to say thank you very much to all those people that commented on my last video where I discussed, you know, some of the comments I were getting off various Facebook sites and, you know, talking about the paths. And I think the majority of the people are sort of in agreement with me that, you know, to a degree, you should be allowed to design the plot how you want to do it and what makes it easy for you. As long as you're keeping it tidy and you're using it moreover, that you're actually using it, you know. They should leave you to it. There we go. So as you can see there, you can just see the tuber there. So what should start to happen is little green shoots will start to come up and our dahlias are on the go. I'm going to do very much the same with the cannas. I'm going to start and introduce some water to these now, encouraging them to start to kickstart the growth. And I'm going to put those as well into the other greenhouse so I can get this sorted out. There's all sorts of different bits of stuff I've got to do. There's bits of glass that have slipped as well, you know, so that's created gaps in the greenhouse. So leave me with this and I'll come back to you when I've done that, and then I'm going to show you some kale that I've got and that I'm going to put on. That's all of the cannas transported across, the dahlias potted on, and as I say, I'm just going to give them a drink, not too much, just a little slight damping. Just to wake them up and say, the time is nigh. Let's get growing. So there we go. I've just got a slight damping. And they're ready to go. In fact, if you look over here, you can see some red shoots appearing already in the cannas at the back there as well. So they're ready to come. So yeah, everything's in here and I can make a start on that at some point, cleaning the other greenhouse. Talking to Ali from the Rusty allotment, and she asked if I were going to give these a bit of a haircut. Now this is only the second time that I've grown my onions from seed, so I've never done that. So I am going to do it because I think, as Ali says, they could be easier to handle, and when these start to flop over, it gets a little bit of a pain. So I'm just thinking, just taking off maybe a third of that growth. Let me know in the comments if I'm right in that sort of estimation there. These are the ones, the Elsa Craigs, that I put in. You can see they suffered a little bit because the roots were popping out of the bottom of the pot, but they should pick back up. And then these here are those evergreen or perennial sweet peas, which I'm going to put down at the bottom on the back of the log store to let them ramble over the top of there. I'm told they're quite prolific growers, so hopefully that'll look nice at some point next season. Right, I'm back in the greenhouse and I'm going to pot up this kale. Now this was given to me sort of around November time. I just left it in its tray and I left it outside. It's been out in the elements, and whilst I know they are quite sort of stunted, I'm going to plant those deep in a pot this size and just see how they go. They've survived outside, so I'm sure if I get them in an individual pot, they'll in a few weeks or two they'll be good to go. So I'm going to do that. Oh wait, what? That was the window out of the greenhouse. When we had all that bad wind, I had to take that out. It had blown open, smashed, and the only way I could sort it was to take the window out and just replace it with a pane. So here you can see, there, that's just one kale plant. So I'm just going to bob that in quite deep into a pot. And let it grow away. And I think I've probably got there we go. I think that'll come on. Give it a good water. I think it'll come on. Well, this video should be coming to you sort of around Thursday of this week, or I might upload it on Friday, but as I say, I'll be attending my mother-in-law's funeral, so I won't be around. So probably the next video you'll get from me, guys, is sort of next week, and we'll try to move on with our lives after having a lovely mother-in-law around for so long. It's going to take some getting used to her not being here, giving me grief, telling me off, but she just wants us to crack on and enjoy what time we've got left on this planet. Anyway guys, that's a short video from me. I hope you've had a good week up to press. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. And just a quick message, hit the subscribe button, it'll really help my channel, and it'll be much appreciated. So until next week guys, take care and happy growing.